Hey, what is going on, hustle buddies? All right, so I've got a little bit of time this evening, so I thought I'd do just a little impromptu live sourcing session. Happy to answer questions about selling on Amazon, whether it's online arbitrage, Amazon to Amazon flips, retail arbitrage, whatever it may be. If you've got questions, if you've got issues, anything like that, drop them into the chats. I've got Facebook over here and YouTube over here. But yeah, we're gonna be jumping in here. I will do some Amazon to Amazon flipping for you guys here. I'll see if I can find anything profitable for you. Here, let me start it this way. What is a category that you like to sell in? Okay, so I'll give you guys a little bit of time to answer that, and I'll try to dive into that category while I wait for some questions to come through. Let me share my screen here. Let's see, entire screen. There we go. Okay. So let's do a little Amazon to Amazon flipping. And today I'm going to use Nepeto. Nepeto was just doing some webinars about A2A flips using their system. So I thought, all right, let me jump on and try my hand at this. Okay. So we're in here using Nepeto. Now, one thing that I really want to make clear when you're doing Amazon to Amazon flips, there is no tool that is required. And there is no product that you will find using one tool that you couldn't have found using another tool. I'm using this because it's fast and easy. I like it. I like the layout. But there's so many different ways of doing this. You can use Keepa, you can use even Tactical Arbitrage has one. There's one called Flip Alert, which is just for Amazon and Amazon Flip. So there's lots of different options here. Okay, so we're gonna look through here now. Specifically, I am looking for a product. You can see the Keepa charts are over here. I am looking for a product where for an Amazon to Amazon flip, I'm looking for something where historically the price is way up here. So like you see this product, the price is often like $115-ish dollars. And for whatever reason today it's 80. Now that's not quite enough meat on the bone, but that's the kind of thing that I am looking for, okay? So I'm kind of hovering my mouse over. The things I am not looking for are where like, okay, yeah, today's price is 50 and last week's price it was 90, but historically is it usually 90? No, historically it's usually about the same price. Okay, so this would not be a good 8A flip. This one, probably not enough meat on the bone there. Let's see, this one, usually it's 50, and today it is 35. Am I getting that right? Let's check this one. This looks potentially interesting, okay? So jumping on here, I'm gonna find you guys a couple leads here free, and I'm happy to answer any Amazon selling questions that you guys might have. Just feel free to drop them into the chat. Okay, let's see if there is enough room here. Like after all the fees and everything, after Amazon takes their portion, there is enough here for this to be worth flipping. Can you guys hear? Is anyone here ungated in? Let me know in the chat. Are you ungated in Sperry? And then again, if you're just joining us, let me know like a category that you like to sell in, okay? And I'll try to find some Amazon to Amazon flips specifically for you here live, and you can make some money with that, okay? All right, so today's price is 35. Historically, let's say like 52 and a little bit of change. Is that enough? Nah, not quite enough. Okay, so we're gonna keep on going. Now, the cool thing, and I should have done this earlier, the cool thing is Nepeto will show you, like it will take the average 30-day price and show you what the ROI is just right off the bat. And if you want, you could even filter this. So like, let's say I want a minimum of like 30% ROI. I don't have to trudge through all that other stuff. I can just go right to the things that most likely are going to work for us. All right, so this one, that looks interesting. This one maybe, it's hard to tell with something like that. Could be a little dicey, could be good, could be dicey. That one looks interesting. Tom's is a good brand. Ooh, Sam Eidelman. This is a fantastic brand. I've sold so much of that, especially as a beginner. Dorman, someone was just saying that they just got gated in Dorman. I wonder if, oh, and they were doing Amazon to Amazon flips. So I wonder if they're using this system. That's interesting. All right, let me see. Let me scroll up to the top. I think this one looked kind of interesting to me. So let's go ahead and click on this. All right. Double check, make sure we've got no questions. Jessica says puppy supplies. Chandana says grocery. All right, let me finish up with this shoe. We'll see if this is profitable, and then I'll switch over to those. Okay. All right. So today's price is 75, and historically, looks like this goes for about 125. Yeah, I mean it has a couple dips every now and then, but it's pretty regularly at 125. It's got decent reviews. All right, so let's run this real fast. 125. Okay. This has some profit, $22 profit, almost 30% ROI. I think I don't know. This is kind of right on the line for me. Women's shoes tend to have a really high return rate. And so I like to have just a little bit of extra margin. If this was like a toy or a grocery product or something, I'd say, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm happy with this. 22 profit, about 30% ROI. I'm good with that. For a women's shoe, I think I would like it just a little bit higher than that. Okay. Now, let me see here. Push this up to grocery. Are there any groceries that that Nepetto can pull up for us? Okay, Bob's Red Mill Organic Quinoa. That's a maybe. That's a no. That's a no. And this is a maybe. Okay, let me look at this quinoa for Chandana. Chandana? I apologize if I'm butchering your name. Okay, so it's the pack of 4. Good. That's what I was curious about, if like a single pack was selling for that much. Okay, so today's price is 14. Historically, it looks like this goes for 37 to 40. That's interesting. Now, I will say with food products, I will often take the risk on these, but you don't want to go crazy deep on a grocery Amazon to Amazon flip because you never know if it's being liquidated because it's close to an expiration date. Yeah, top reviews, interesting. So somebody did not get a 4-pack. I would think getting it from Amazon that you would probably get the right thing, but probably leave a note for yourself just to double check that. Let's see, 37 I think is on kind of the low end. Let me pull out to the whole year. 45, maybe even 50. Okay, so we'll do like a best case, worst case, and middle of the road. So I think worst case, we'd get around 37 for it. So our worst case scenario is 28% ROI, which I'm happy with. I think middle of the road, I think you'd get about 40-ish. Okay, so we'll run those numbers. 40-ish, we're at 46% ROI, or $6.50. And then best case, I mean, I think I see it get up to 54 back there, and it held that for almost all of August. So best case, worst case, middle case, I'm happy with this. I think this is a decent one. I will, I'm going to take this ASIN right here, and I'm going to share it into our live chat for you guys, okay? So if anyone's interested in snagging one of those, make sure you check if you are ungated, but I think that one looks pretty decent to me. I like it, okay? And with Amazon and Amazon flips, oftentimes by the time I buy this, receive it, pack it, prep it, ship it back to Amazon, and then Amazon receives it, I mean, 95 times out of 100, the price has already gone back to what I had been estimating it normally is, because we're sort of buying this on the dip. Just tuned in. Are you doing Amazon to Amazon? I am doing A2A flipping right now. Yeah, I'm doing it live here. I'm trying to find you guys a couple products. I've got about 15, 20 minutes this evening before my kids get home. So I thought, hey, let me jump on and see if I can find people some money. Just help you guys out. Okay, so someone mentioned earlier they wanted to see groceries, so I just pulled up a grocery product. Someone else in chat said pet supplies. Okay, let me sort this by pet supplies. See if we get anything. Okay, ooh, a Harry Potter Ravenclaw collar. That sounds fun. Okay, historically about 14, and today it is 6. Yeah, there's a little bit of profit there. Let's pull this up. All right, so yeah, today this is $4.50 for the Ravenclaw Small. I'm gonna show you guys a neat little trick here in a second, but let's just make sure that this is profitable. It's a good flip. Okay, I see historically it's usually between like 13-ish and 14 and a half. Let's see, looks like it went down to 12 there for a little bit, even down to 10 for just a scotch of a time. But yeah, 14 and a half is very normal. So I'm gonna put 14 and a half. I think everything else is the outlier, and that's the normal price. So today's price was $4.49. And our normal price is about 14 bucks. Yep, boom, there's a winner. All right, so here's another one for you guys. Free lead for you. If you are watching this live, you are welcome to snag this. Just double check that you are ungated. Now, the next thing that you can do, if you find something like this and you see that there are variations, go ahead and open up the variations tab here in Keepa. Hopefully everyone here is using Keepa. This is by far the most utilized tool for Amazon sellers. There is no replacement for it. If there's a tool that says oh, you can get rid of Keepa, you don't need it because you have us now, they're lying to you. That is not a thing. There is no competition for Keepa. So I'm gonna click here on the variations tab. And I'm going to look to see, are any other colors or sizes the same price? So we were looking at the Ravenclaw Small, and I'm not sure why it's showing like $6.30 because I'm looking at the price myself and it's $4.50. But yeah, that one says $6.30. This one says 6. That one says 7. Okay, so let me, I'll look at a couple of these. So we're on the small. Let me pull up the extra small, open that in a new tab, and the green one in a new tab. And let me just check. Again, we just want to look at historical prices. Okay, so for this one, looks like historically Amazon's always selling this for about $6.50. So this would not be a good flip. And then this green one, I'll pull this out to a year. Historically, it looks like Amazon sells this for about 10 and a half or 11. And I don't think that that would be enough. Well, okay. Actually, that might work. We got to double check. Is it 650 or is it 4? Oh, no, it's 7. It's weird. I don't know why the Keepa price was showing. Okay, so yeah, that one is not a flip, but the small, the one that I just posted in chat, that to me looked like a pretty decent flip. Okay. Yeah, the Ravenclaw Small right here. Okay, let me see. Someone said, what's the buy box? The buy box was $4.49. And it looks like if you buy more, you can save more. You can save up to 2 cents. Not that that really matters in this situation, but I've seen some interesting stuff that you can do looking for that. Okay. All right. Let me pop back in here. If you guys have any category requests, drop them into the chat, and I'm happy to specifically look for some Amazon to Amazon flips for you. Anyone here who's watching live, I'm just sharing free leads for you. And all you got to do is tell me what category you want me to look into, okay? Okay, so that was this Harry Potter Ravenclaw here. And if you want to, if you want to pay me back for finding you some free leads, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Pop over to, if you're watching on Facebook, head over to the YouTube channel, so youtube.com/c/HustleBuddiesOfficial, and you can watch the live over there, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That'll help me beat the algorithm. All right, this one also looks interesting. I like that. Okay, so usually, historically, we see prices up here at about 30. For whatever reason, today it is 9. So let's pull this up. All right. Okay, so this is being sold by Amazon, $9.99. Historically, 31 to 34, somewhere in there. All right, interesting. Espresso. Oh, this is like for if your dog passes away, you put them in. All right, sad, but I mean, a flip is a flip. I will flip pretty much anything. All right, let's see here. 30, let's do, let me check like best case, worst case. I think our low end is at 30 bucks. What would that be? 64% ROI, great. And high end is about $35, even better. We're over 100% ROI. I like it. Let me share that into our YouTube chat over there. All right, and I'll share it into the Facebook chat, but I'll tell the people here on Facebook. I'm gonna just start posting the specific links on our YouTube channel because it'll save me time and it'll give you a reason to head over there and subscribe to the channel. All right. Okay. How scalable do I think it is? It is infinitely scalable. That's I feel like that's kind of the wrong question because with Amazon there is no ceiling. There's not like a limit, like, oh, how big can you make this? There isn't. That's like asking how long is a string. A string can be 2 inches. A string can be 1,000 feet. Same with Amazon. You can make $2 on Amazon, or you could sell. I mean, I know people who are selling like 30, 40 million per year. Yeah, I know a number of people who do A2A flipping pretty much solely, and they do it full time, and they're doing about $1 million a year in sales. And then if you think like, okay, well, $1 million in sales after like fees and everything else is said and done, usually $1 million a year in sales is going to come out to, you'll have a net profit between 10 to 20%. So you can think if a person says they sold $1 million, well, they probably made as sort of like their job, they probably made about 100 to 200,000 that year as a person, as the owner of that business. Okay, so yeah, I think A2A flipping is hyper scalable, just like any other form of Amazon selling. There are, I mean, tens of thousands of Amazon to Amazon flips every single day. And they're only in stock for like a really short amount of time. So like I'm doing a video on this right now. We're here live. If someone watches the replay in like 2 hours, will probably be sold out. It says they only have 4 in stock for 10 bucks. Once those 4 are gone, it's going to go back up. So it's the kind of thing where it really rewards people who can spend short amounts of time multiple times throughout the day, if that makes sense. Okay. So like if you log on for like 10 minutes on the top of the hour or something like that, and you just check for new leads, buy a couple of them, move on. Yeah, I think this is very, very scalable. I know it's scalable because we've scaled it. I do a lot of Amazon to Amazon flipping. I've got a bunch of friends who do a lot of Amazon to Amazon flipping. Yeah, and it's the same as any other form, I would say. All right, let me do one more here in the pets. Okay, so this is one that I would be skipping. Remember I said we're looking for a normal price that's higher. This is not really the normal price. This seems like the normal price. It seems like we've gone back. Like today's price right here, we've gone back to where the normal thing is. Books are best for profit. That's kind of a loaded statement. I'm gonna disagree. I've turned on BookMine. I do not like flipping books. I think it's by far like the most work for the least profit. Now, can you buy a book for like $1 and flip it for 50? Yeah, absolutely. Like you'll find that. And there's not very many other things that you can find like that, but velocity is pretty slow. You need, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of ASINs in order to do books full time. I don't know anyone personally who is a full-time book flipper, period. I know people who make content about flipping books and it kind of looks like they're full-time book flippers. I do not know anyone who does it full-time who does not also make content and try to sell people courses on how to flip books. In fact, even like sort of the OG people like, what's that dude's name? He skateboards a lot now. maybe someone in chat knows what I'm talking about. Reezy Resells. He's sort of like the OG book flipper. He doesn't flip books anymore. Yeah, you can. It's just not something that I like to do. Too much work for too little payout. You can get huge payouts. You can get those like $1 books and flip them for 50, but it's rare. It's hard. Yeah, a lot of inventory, a lot of work for moderate payouts. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my experience. There's plenty of people. I say this all the time. There's a million ways to make $1 million on Amazon. So like, I'm not saying that to be like, oh yeah, book flipping is stupid. That's just me saying I don't do it. I don't like it. I think other things work better personally for me. If you do it and you're crushing it, awesome. I love it. I've tried. Our net profit is, it's a little complicated because a lot of things are outsourced. And so it won't really make sense. And when people also talk about net profit, the problem that they'll run into is a lot of people will include the owner salary in net profit. Here, let me stop sharing my screen for a second because I'm gonna step on a little Nate soapbox here. Okay, there's a lot of people who someone will like post their orange bars from Amazon, like, oh, I finally had $1 million in sales. And I will be the first one to congratulate them. And I will be the last one to ask them any follow-up questions about profit. Why? Well, one, it doesn't matter. I don't care. That person posted their achievement because they wanted people to celebrate. They're proud of what they did, and I'm proud of that, so I'm going to cheer them on. It drives me crazy when people in the comments are like, yeah, but what about net profit? First, it drives me crazy because that doesn't matter. Like, if the person said, I made 50% net profit, you're going to be like, wow. If the person said they made 10% net profit, you should still say, wow, they made $100,000 that you're flipping stuff. Either way, it doesn't affect you at all. Like, it doesn't, you shouldn't think more or less of a person based on that number. Also, part number two, again, Nate's stepping on a little soapbox here. People calculate net profit very differently. Some people, and I'm gonna say the S word. Some people are stupid and they calculate taxes before they say net profit. They're like, well, I made this much money, but that's before taxes. So after taxes, my net profit was, well, no, you pay taxes on your net profit. It doesn't work the other way around because you don't pay taxes on your revenue. You only pay taxes on your profit. So if you're like, well, I made this, but then taxes, so my net profit is actually, no, your net profit is whatever you told the IRS your net profit is. Anyways, other people will include things like their owner salary in net profit and others won't. So someone was like, well, it's impossible to make more than 5% net profit in your business. And so then I start talking to them. I was like, oh, are you including your own salary? And they said, oh, of course I am. And I said, well, what are you paying yourself? It's like, oh, well, I'm paying myself $250,000 a year. And I'm like, well, you can't say you're only making 5% net profit because you can pay yourself whatever the heck you want. Yeah, so I don't love that whole net profit, like, oh, but what's this? And sort of the measuring contest. But on average, most people are going to be making between 10 to 20%. The larger you get, the smaller that number will be. On average, there are people outside of that, especially booksellers. I think booksellers would probably have a larger margin because, again, you're doing like turning $1 into $50. It's just a slower game. But yeah, most operate between 10 to 20%. Joji and Victor, I've heard of Joji, but I know he makes content, and that's why I kind of take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know any people who flip books full time who aren't invested in convincing other people to flip books full time. Okay. Joji, I'm sure he's a great guy, but he makes content about it and he owns a tool about it. And so, of course, he's going to try to tell people that they should also flip books. I don't know. Let me see here. Nepeto is good if you narrow down to a few products. I think there's a lot. There's so many different ways that you can use Nepeto. How many hours do you or your team typically spend on A2A? Looks like a great tool. I spend a fair amount of time doing this, and it's fun. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. Here, let me real quick. Let me find you a coupon if you want to do that. But there's so many different ways to do A2A flips. Like, I'm just showing you guys Nepeto here for a second. Here's a link for you over on the YouTubes, and then actually. Let me see. Here, I'll send you this page, and there's a coupon attached to that page. So you can check that out if you're interested in getting Nepeto. Nepeto does a lot of different things. Amazon to Amazon flipping, I would say, is about 5% of what this tool does. There's a lot of other things. But yeah, how many hours? If I had to quantify it, maybe 20, give or take. But I don't really time it all that much. And there's a lot of like jump on for a little bit, jump back off, jump on for a little bit, jump back off. Thanks for sharing. Just starting to learn. Where would you guide someone brand new to this? I would guide you to exactly where you are. Our Hustle Buddies YouTube channel. I try to keep things pretty straight with people. I mean, I'll always like celebrate stuff. I'm not gonna like. I think there's a lot of assholes in this space, is what I'm saying. And so I try to make like the YouTube channel and our Facebook group. We have a Hustle Buddies Facebook group as just sort of like a positive, like, okay, let's just get all the egos out of the way and just talk about how to do Amazon. So yeah, I'd say you're in the right place. We've got some beginner playlists here on our YouTube channel that are completely free. And honestly, I think my biggest advice for beginners is just do it and be okay with failing. You're going to fail forward. If you are afraid of selling something because you're afraid of doing something wrong, well, you're never going to grow a business. You gotta spend your money on some mistakes. And some people are like, well, I'm really afraid, so I'm going to buy like this $7,000 coaching program from such and such because I trust him. No, okay, this is me, Nate, giving you a virtual smack on the forehead. Like, no, stop that. If you're going to spend $7,000, spend that $7,000 on mistakes, okay? There's a time and a place for courses and classes. I mean, I have courses and classes, but I feel like make some mistakes, okay? You're going to learn a lot more for a lot cheaper, and the lessons will be ingrained in your head a lot faster if you actually go out and spend that money on mistakes, okay? So yeah, all right, let me dive back in. Let me try to find you guys a couple more leads, and then I'll take a couple more questions, and we'll just keep going back and forth like this, okay? Share my screen here again. All right. Okay, was there anything? Let me see. Okay, were there any other categories that you guys wanted me to find? Hey, what's up, Randy? Were there any other categories? Hide that. Any other categories that you want me to look through? I'm just going to select all of these, and we'll look through until I see another request for like a specific category to look for. Okay. All right. No, probably pass. Pass on that. Pass on that. This one's a maybe, although I just heard people having some issues with Dorman. Let me pull this up actually, and I'm curious to see the number of sellers on it. Yeah, it's really that just Jacqueline, that person, they just make me so angry. They use Christianity to get people to trust them, and then they trick them into paying them $7,000 on a crappy coaching program. You want to know what else is crazy, Jacqueline? So you paid $7,000 for a coaching program. Do you know how much that coach got paid? Those coaches get paid $100. Like, it's crazy. The owner of that, oh, I can't stand him. One of the scummiest people in the space, in my opinion. Mostly because I feel like he uses God to sell things, which just really pisses me off. All right. We've got this here. Okay, this one still has 17 new offers. Are they? Yeah, this has plenty of third-party sellers. I don't think this one's been hit yet. Okay. Today it's $9. Historically, it's 41 for whatever this break thing is. I like it. 828 is our buy cost. And let's do a historical, like a normal price of $41.39. $41.39. Wow, that's huge. Okay. Now, how often does this sell? I mean, not crazy often. I would say they looked like it went through a little bit of a lull there in December. But like I'll look at last year, like February through March. It looks like this is selling once or twice per week. If I just had to guesstimate based on this sales rank, this green bar that's moving up and down is the sales rank. It's not an exact science. So if anyone says, oh yeah, just count the number of drops, no, that's stupid advice. Don't listen to them anymore. They don't know what they're talking about. But you can kind of get a feel for this. The longer that you've done this, you can kind of get a feel for looking at a chart and seeing how often it's selling. So this is selling. Yeah, I would say, oh, actually, this is actually selling a couple times. So this is March 1st to March 8th. That probably sold 4 or 5 times in there. Yeah, I like it. That's moving enough. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share this one to my YouTube crew. All right. So there's another free lead. Now, I'll give the caveat with that last one that I just saw someone post in our Facebook group about like they bought a bunch of dormant stuff and then they became restricted after they purchased it. So it could be a little bit dicey, but I would take the chance on that one personally. All right, moving right along. I'll find one more product and then I'll take some more questions. So if you have questions about selling on Amazon, about Nepeto, about doing Amazon to Amazon flips, about anything at all, feel free to drop them into the chat. All right, historically, we're not quite good enough there. This one's probably not, well, I don't really sell jewelry like this. I'll check it out. I'll check it out just as something a little bit different. I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've sold jewelry of any form. I would classify this as some kind of jewelry thing. Let me see. Only one left in stock at this price point. So if this is a good flip, there will be one lucky winner. Oh, and that's interesting. It went down to $4.99 for a while, and today it's $10. $2.99. Ooh, okay. So this is an interesting one. This is not something that I would buy today, but I will, and again, this is all within Keepa. This isn't like a third-party tool. I will track this product. So I want to see if this product is ever sold for $5 or less. Make sure you select this or less option right here, okay? I want to be notified by Keepa. Okay, and I want them to track this for how about 2 years, and they'll start tracking. I'm going to share this with the chat, and I recommend that you do the same because when I'm looking at this Keepa chart, I see usually this is being sold for about $15, but occasionally Amazon comes in. Amazon was down here for $2.99 for a while, and they came back on for $4.99 for a while. So if Amazon comes back on at either $4.99 or $2.99, I am jumping all over this. I'm going to get a bunch, and then we'll flip them back when they're up at 15. Okay? So I like that. It's not for today. This isn't a good flip for right now, but ooh, actually, wait a second. Yes, it is a flip for right now. I spoke too soon. Okay? So for the folks who are like, oh, you can't compete against Amazon or Amazon never shares the buy box, Amazon is currently on this listing and Amazon is selling it for $5. The buy box for me here in Florida is this person, 1088 from Milani, USA. Now, when I clicked on other offers, I see Amazon, and my guess is that it's this shipping time causing the delay. So Amazon, it says they have 4 in stock. That may or may not be true. But I wouldn't get this until February 4th through 19th. So it seems like they're a little bit back ordered. Whereas if I get it from this person, I'll get this in, what is this, 4 days, 5 days away? Okay. So for me personally, if I wasn't doing a video on this, yeah, I would probably take a little chance on this one. Get just a couple here for $4.99 and then see if I can flip them. Let me see if any of the other variations are similar. Yep. That one is similar, and that one is similar, and this one, probably just these two up here at the top. So coffee and cream and vanilla latte both look like they usually go for $15, and right now Amazon is selling them for $5. Okay, and sometimes Amazon sells them for $2. Yeah, that one doesn't drop low enough that I've seen here, and that one doesn't drop low enough. But those first two, both solid. I like them both. Okay, so I shared that over on the YouTube channel. If you want to link to the ASIN, just pop over to YouTube. And there's a free lead for you. All you got to do to repay me is click a thumbs up on the video. Help me out with the algorithm. We're trying to get back into the good graces of the YouTube algorithm. Okay, let me jump back to the comments real fast. See if we got any more questions. Foreman went restricted for some and not others. Are you doing A2A OA with Nepeto right now? Yes, I am, Pete. And usually, I mean, I understand what you mean. Usually A2A is, would be referred to differently from OA. So there's like RA, OA, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and Amazon to Amazon flips. Usually you would just, you wouldn't say like A2A OA, just if you're talking to other people. Yeah, because generally, if someone says OA, they mean they're buying it from like an online store. Okie dokie. Let me see. Any other questions? Reminder, when sending jewelry, your box can't go over 40 pounds. Good note, Randy. Yeah, I don't hardly sell any jewelry, so I did not know that rule. Do you think wholesale is still viable with all the seemingly random regating going on? Yes. Yeah, if here's the beautiful thing about viability of a business like this. There's they call it the law of supply and demand. It's not the theory of supply and demand. It is the law of supply and demand. Basically, if demand goes up or if demand stays the same and supply goes down, then the price will go up. Okay. So within this concept of viability of a business, if a business becomes unviable, let's just pretend that Nate says, oh yeah, wholesale isn't viable anymore. No one should do it. It's just not profitable. If it wasn't profitable, then everyone who was doing wholesale would stop doing wholesale because no one is going to run a business if they're not making any money. And when those people stop doing wholesale because it's no longer profitable, there's no longer any supply, but the demand stayed the same, so the price is going to start going up. And since the price goes up, well, now it's profitable, and so people are going to jump back on. So it's sort of impossible for something to be completely unviable in the sense of like e-commerce, because if no one does it, then the price just skyrockets, and then people will start doing it again. So it kind of there's this equilibrium. It kind of evens itself out. So no, wholesale is completely fine. The regating is frustrating. The regating is annoying. I was hoping that it was a Q4 thing that would end after Q4. I don't know. Maybe the robots didn't get the memo that we're not in Q4 anymore. I've never seen it quite this crazy. If you're doing, especially actually with wholesale specifically, I would say that's actually the least affected by things like regating, because 99 times out of 100, you are getting your invoice and you can just use that invoice to then get ungated after getting regated. Okay. Someone asked, what were the parameters? I basically have no parameters here. Let me share my screen for a second here. So I was doing, if you're talking about like what did I put into Nepeto to find these Amazon to Amazon flips, literally the only thing that I pressed was ROI of 30%. That is the single only lever that I have pulled here. Everything else is just going as is, and then I'm using my brain to kind of sort through stuff from there. Okay, if that's what you meant by parameter. If you meant something else, then I apologize, and you can re-ask. Let me see. Pete, understood. I was asking more so what section you are in, as they have multiple different ways to source. Right now, I am in. So if you go to like the Nepeto homepage, I am in the Amazon to Amazon flips section. Okay. And this is, in my opinion, this is a very small part of Nepeto. Like if I had to put like a percentage of like how many people in Nepeto use this compared to other portions, this is like a 5% of Nepeto's business. Okay. So I went in here, I just put a minimum of like 30% ROI just to weed out a lot of the stuff that I don't really care about. And here we are. Today is the last day of Q4 in Amazon's mind. And today is when the fees go back to normal. Yeah, so hopefully the gating issues will lax up. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's gotten so crazy this year, and it's bad for business. Like I'm not gonna like make excuses for Amazon. It's bad for business. It would be better for business if they were just clear about how to get ungated, clear and uniform for like accepting invoices and things like that, and then clear and uniform about kicking people out. But because everything's sort of like, okay, I sent an invoice and they accepted it. Oh, and then 2 days later they reversed that decision. Like that's where I feel like it's bad for business, but I expect it to stop. That's a good point, Randy, that the fees don't actually go back until today. So maybe all of those Amazon robots did think we're still kind of in Q4. So yeah. All right, let me see if I can find anything else for you guys. I'll scroll down a little bit. So we're on this one, I believe. All right, that one's probably not profitable. Probably not. Probably not. Today we're at 50, and not quite enough profit for me. This looks interesting. So it's 35 and historically around 60. All right, let's check this one out. This one's probably not good for beginners because it's unlikely that any beginners here are ungated in this. But if we've got people who've been selling for a little bit who can sell Adidas, this may be a good flip for you guys. All right, let's just run some math here. Yeah, I like what that price history looks like, where it's usually 66, 68. Yeah, somewhere in there. And today it is 35. Okay, so let's just run some numbers real fast. All right, so 66 would be 33% profit, or 68. We're at 37% profit. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I don't know. There's a chance this one would be hard gated. Some of these sporting brands have a few like specific ASINs that get hard gated, and just the fact that I only ever see Amazon, I've never seen a third party jump on here. I'm looking at this blue bar down here where it says new offer count. It might be hard gated. I can't tell you. But yeah, I will share this just in case you are ungated in Adidas. I posted the link over on the YouTube video. So if you're watching on Facebook, you just got to pop over to our YouTube channel and you'll see this live, and then you'll get all of the ASINs that I've been posting. All right. Okay, let's find another one. Okay, we found that one already. We already posted about it. This one, ooh, this could be interesting too. All right, let's check it out. Whoop. And we're gonna have to start wrapping it up because I hear my kids getting home. So this will probably be the last one here. I'll take one or two more questions if you guys have other questions, and then we will wrap things up, okay? So this is the, I don't know what the heck this tool is, a bottoming H3 hand tap. I don't have the foggiest idea what this is used for. But I know that today's price is $73. And I know that historically this is selling. And I know that historically it usually goes for 41. Amazon for 19. Oh, this is another funky one where Amazon is selling it for 19, but they're probably back ordered. It doesn't even give me a delivery date. That's a little funky. But yeah, 1921. We'll go ahead and use that. And historically, I would say this goes for about 41 and 30. I see 40 and a half. Let's see. So it was like 1950 or something like that. And then this going for 41.30. Yeah, that's pretty good profit right there. Yeah, any red flags? Don't see any red flags there. No red flags up there. Yeah, I think I like it. I could check on something like this because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different variation tags that I could go through. Let me just glance real fast at the different variations. This only has 16 reviews, so this might not tell us what I'm hoping for. It's not a complete deal breaker, but just so we are aware. Now, I'm looking at the bottoming H3, what size? 9/16 by 12 or something? Where is 9/16 by 12? That one, or is it that one? Those are the same thing. Okie dokie. And what I'm glancing over at is the rating. Okay, so neither of these have any ratings or reviews. So there is a chance that I'm not alone in having no idea what the heck this tool does. And there's a chance that it has never sold. It's never gotten any ratings or reviews. The listing is selling. It's not selling crazy fast, and it's split across all of these different variations. You can see if I do this, there's a lot of variations on this. So this actually probably I would avoid it just because there are so many variations and I don't have any data telling me that this variation is doing well at all. I don't often go that deep into something, but I would probably avoid that based on what I saw there. Let me see. I'm trying to find you guys one more before I hop off, and feel free to ask any last questions. I'll take just a few more questions here. Ooh, Wrangler. This is good. Oh, I've sold a lot of Wrangler in the past. It's rare that I can find Wranglers in store to flip, even when I go to like the Wrangler outlet store. But when I do find them, they're solid sells. They sell fast. They sell consistently. Returns are usually pretty low on this because the people who are buying Wranglers, usually they like always buy Wranglers. They know what their size is. They know what they're looking for and all that. And they're not shopping around and buying stuff. Also, if you guys had not heard yet, so Amazon used to have a sort of like a try before you buy type of thing. Like you'd order it and you'd keep it for 7 days and you could return it. And that was true of pretty much all clothing. And so customers kind of got used to just doing that, even on stuff that didn't apply for it. Well, Amazon has phased that out. They have ceased that. All right. Yeah, that looks like a winner to me. Yeah, so profitability is good. This will have some variations. Misty blue. Looks like it's the only one that has rips in the jeans. So here's what I'm going to do for variations. I am just curious if people like this color. If people are liking this color, then I'm sure that someone out there is size 1634. Well, wait. Is this like men's sizes? That doesn't make any sense. No, that has to be like women's and then men's sizes. Because a 16 waist for a 34 long, that's impossible. that's like a 6 foot tall 5-year-old. Yeah, that has to be a women's size 16 or a men's size 34. But yeah, okay. Let me just look here in the misty blue to see if any of these have ratings or reviews. All right, they do, a couple of them. It's not selling as fast as a lot of the other styles, but they are selling. So for something like this, I wouldn't go deep. I'd probably just buy like 1, maybe 2. And then I would also look at the other variants to see, okay, is there anything? This is the only one that's going for 20, so it's probably, this is probably it. But yeah, I'd probably pick one of those up if I were doing that. So here, let me share this over to YouTube. All right. Hopefully you guys made a little bit of money tonight from some of the stuff I found, or at least learned that you could flip stuff from Amazon. Okay. All right. Any last minute questions about selling on Amazon, Nepeto, Amazon flips, anything like that? Stop sharing my screen here. And I'll pull up my comments. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Cutting interior threads. I'm not sure what that was talking about, Barry. I apologize. Let me see here. Oh, yes. Yes, this is a great point. If you are new and you're like, oh, I want to do Amazon to Amazon flips, there's basically only one rule with Amazon to Amazon flips. It's completely TOS compliant. The only rule is don't use Prime benefits for the purpose of resale. That is a little clause in your customer side account. So when you sign up for as a customer on Amazon, in the TOS of Prime, there's a little thing that says don't use Prime benefits for the purpose of resale. Technically, that is true of all resale. It doesn't matter if you're flipping it on eBay, on Walmart, on overseas. It doesn't matter. Technically, you're not supposed to do it. Now, how well do they track it? I'm not going to get into that, but technically, that is in the TOS. So the way to stay fully compliant is to just make a new business account, and it's completely free, and just don't attach Prime to it. Okay, so go to like Amazon. I think it's amazon.business.com. Just sign up there, plug in your EIN number for your business. Everyone here should have a business identification number. So just plug that in and it's free. Just don't attach Prime to it and you are good to go. The other fun thing about having a business account is sometimes, so not anything that we saw here tonight, but sometimes you can get business discounts and some of those discounts can be rather large. I might jump back on later this week to show you a fun little trick, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll save it for the next sourcing camp because it is a cool trick that you can do searching for that. But yeah, get yourself a business account. Don't use Amazon Prime. And you're off to the races. That's really all you got to remember. So yeah, A2A flipping, it's relatively easy. It's relatively fast. You can ship these to yourself or you can ship it to a prep center. So it can go either way, which means that you can do A2A flipping from anywhere. You don't have to be located at your house. Unlike things like retail arbitrage where you have to be located I'm assuming you're selling on the American platform if you're watching my channel, where you would have to be located in the US in order to do retail arbitrage. A2A flipping, you can do from a cruise ship. You can move to Thailand and continue doing A2A flipping. You can visit your sister in Australia and do A2A flipping. All right. So, yeah, it's a fun method. I like it. I've been doing it a lot more over the past year and a half or so. So yeah. Nate, in a vacuum, would you rather sell 1,000 different ASINs for small profit or a handful of big ticket ASINs for 9 to 20 profit? That's a tough call, and it would kind of depend a little bit on what those ASINs were and if I am the one doing the work. If I'm the one that is packing and prepping and I have not, so like let's say it makes $2 profit and that is not including like paying for a prep center or paying for someone to come to your house and pack things and prep it. If that's the case, then I would err on the side of the $9 to $20 profit items. Also, just a side note, $9 to $20 profit, that is not, those aren't big ticket items. That's like a bra is $9 to $20 profit. That's like selling something for 30 bucks that you bought for 10 bucks. Okay. But, yeah, I would err on that side if I am the one doing the labor. If I am not doing the labor, then I don't really care. Like if everything were equal and it's like, okay, I could sell 1,000 of those or 100 of those. And at the end of the day, I'll make the same profit. Well, if I'm not doing it, I don't really care which one I do. If it was like purely a vacuum and you were like, had a knife to my throat, I was like, make a choice. It's like, maybe if the 1,000 were in grocery, because then you don't have any returns versus like the $9 to $10 profit, maybe those are shoes where you have high returns. So you kind of want to consider that, but yeah. Can you use a Prime credit card? I don't believe so because it's Prime and that's it's like a benefit of Prime. So I don't think so. I don't mess with that personally. Maybe you could. And honestly, I'm going to go back to how do they track this and how well do they track it? I don't know. Do whatever you want. It's your business. I'm just sharing what the TOS says. So yeah. All right. Yeah, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys made a little bit of money. If you guys liked this and you want me to do more lives, I'm happy to. Just make a post in our Facebook group or on any of our other YouTube videos. Just comment like, hey, I'd love to see another live session about XYZ. And I'm happy to jump on periodically. I do want to come on more. So in this year, in 2025, I've made it a goal to make 2 like standalone videos. So on Mondays, I do my Amazon guide video. And on either Thursdays or Fridays, I do my extra video. So today I made a video about the AIP program, which is like a new side hustle for me that's working out. So if you're interested in that, go watch that video, give it a thumbs up, show me some love for the algorithm. And yeah, I might jump on for a 3rd time weekly and try to do like a live sourcing session, something like that, if people enjoy it. So, all right, that's it for me, guys. Go make some money. Hustle on, everybody.